Kilowatt India 4 Hotel Echo Echo. Name here is Bob. I'm in Conway, South Carolina. How copy, over?
All right, Kilo India 4 Echo Echo, is that a Roger?
Kilo India 4 Echo Echo, is that a Roger?
Kilo India 4 Hotel Echo Echo, that's affirmative.
Hotel Echo Echo, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Oh, Echo Echo, Roger, Roger, and what's the name there?
Name here is Bob. Bravo Oscar Bravo. Just don't call me late for supper. And I'm located in Conway, South Carolina. Over.
Roger, South Carolina. And what radio are you running, Bob?
Roger, South Carolina. And what radio are you running, Bob?
This is an old FT-897, Yaesu FT-897. I'm into an 80-meter Carolina Wyndham. And I'm actually been tweaking and peaking this old D104 I just acquired. Had to rewire it, and I wanted to make sure I'm not going too hot on that trimmer pot that these things have. So I've got it stopped all the way down, and I just wanted to get a good report on how well I'm making it up to southern Indiana. Over.
Roger, Roger. Well, you know the D1. Now, I'm assuming that you have the amplifier for that mic, Roger.
You have the amplifier for that mic, Roger.
Yeah, this is a TUP9 bass. And from what I gathered, the only thing I had to do with it was basically resolder some wires. There's some cold solder joints. But this is like my third or fourth time working this mic, and I wanted to make sure that the mic is working, and it seems like it's doing pretty good for a 40-year-old mic.
Oh, I think it's older than that. Somebody said it was 80 years old. I don't know, but, it could well be. Yes, I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer, and you're mostly a mid-range and top end. You don't have much of a bottom end. Now, you could stand a little more bottom to kind of mellow it out a tad if you might be interested. I'm not real sure. What kind of EQ do you have on that radio?
What kind of EQ do you have on that radio?
Not that much to speak of. As a matter of fact, it's kind of a basket case. The 897 display is pretty striped up, and I'm using a CAT display to be able to see it. Consequently, though, I can't get into my menus too easily, and I can trim some of the sideband adjustments, but not that much, and I've got everything set to default. But in the meantime, yeah, the D104s are naturally real high-end. It's a high impedance crystal element, and the high ends are more prevalent. The amplifier on the D104 mics basically making an impedance matching device, but you still have a lot of high frequencies, little lows. I'm thinking about making a modification that's available where you put in a couple of different capacity, some capacitors that'll help bring down the low end. But in the meantime, I just wanted to make sure this thing is working. I'm on web SDR right now, monitoring the Washington, D.C. located SDR 885B, and I'm able to see the display as well. It's fair to moderate from what I can see, but you have a much more qualitative assessment as far as I can tell.
Roger, Bob. Now, that microphone is sounding beautiful for D104, and so I'm assuming that since you're running it, it's exactly where you want to be, concentrating more on intelligibility than maybe QSO, QSO, for QSO, long QSO, it might be, a little too shrill for long range, long time, but for contesting it, I think is just beautiful because it really cuts. Now I'm just curious about you're listening on an SDR, and I would like for you to switch over to your local receiver and see if you have not a better copy on your local receiver than you do on the SDR. And I'll talk here just for a moment so you can maybe compare the two together, the SDR and your local radio, because I really think we are designed this station for maximum penetration through to the East Coast from Montreal to Miami, with a hotspot through the Carolinas. So we should be just direct 15 over. Roger.
15 over. Roger.
Copy that. Yes, you You're very good signal. I was actually monitoring you with my radio, but I was looking at the waterfall display on the SDR to see what flight is. Now I've trimmed back. As a matter of fact, I'm now hearing the echo caused by the monitor. Let me mute that. So I can tell I'm making it to you, but now I've quieted that down and I'm back up to my radio to monitor as well. So, yeah, but I appreciate you giving me the ideas. I'm definitely going to be adding the mod that allows me to boost some of the low end. I agree, it is a little bit hot, but it does punch through a pileup, that's for darn sure. This is an improvement over the Yaesu stock mic that came with the radio. It just didn't seem to have enough oomph, and this D104 has really improved my ability to get into a pileup. But I do definitely appreciate it, and I'll be monitoring your station on YouTube as well. Appreciate it. KC9VKV, I'll let you work other stations. 7-3 from KI4HEE.
Roger, Bob. And just FYI, we do have a spectrum analyzer on our set, and it's monitoring both my audio and incoming audio. So it's monitoring all audio and displaying the frequency content. And so you can see precisely what your signal content is through this spectrum analyzer. We're coming through Rochester. So Rochester, normally SDRs do have a tendency to roll off on the bottom end somewhat, around 100 cycles or so. My local receiver is much more accurate. It's pretty highly modified in receive and transmit, and we pay particular attention to the audio spectrum all the way down to 100 cycles. Now, just a tip on your SDR monitoring. What I do is I have 4 notebooks, and I take the audio from those, and they come up on a 6-position rotary switch. And I can choose any one of those, and also my local receiver audio is on that rotary switch, so I can go through all of them. And obviously, when I hit my key, I mute. So even though I'm on an SDR, when I hit talk, it mutes the speaker, so I don't get that latency coming back situation. Roger.
Coming back situation, Roger.
Copy that. Understand. I was doing the same thing. I just didn't hit that mute when I was coming back to you before. But, yeah, boy, these web SDRs sure do make it kind of nice and convenient. You can find one that's about in your the first bounce, first hop, and you can get a good tune-in, get an idea of what people are hearing, and it's really cool. But I'm really thrilled over the prospect of people doing live streaming on YouTube. It allows callers to be able to actually see and hear the activity that's being received. I think that's a wonderful application of YouTube. Far a lot better content than what you normally find. Anyway, great chat with you. Thank you very much for the QSO and for the assessment. And I promise you, you'll hear more from me later. In the meantime, this is Kilo India 4 Hotel Echo Echo clear.
Roger, Roger, Bob. 3 is that way, sir, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And if you get a chance, join us next Friday for our QSO-VLOG. We record between 3:30 and 5, and then post it up on YouTube. And I think the neat part about that is that folks can go to YouTube and play it and listen to it and play it and listen to it. It's not like it's here, and it's so hard for somebody to try to make some kind of intelligent adjustment when they're listening to their own voice in real time. It's you have a much better perspective of what's going on if you're listening to a tape and because you can listen to it over and over again. Compared, the other thing about our QSO-VLOG is network is that it's an hour and a half long. So we have a lot of folks checking in with a lot of different EQs and modulations, and we have the possibilities and capabilities of listening to a lot of other radios and deciding, hey, I don't like that, but hey, that's pretty neat there. And, so we can catch, inspirations from other folks and their audios and say, hey, well, let me try this and see if I can approach that. Because we never really know what the capabilities are until we have the capability of experiencing them. And that's what our QSO-VLOG net is all about. Like I say, we go through a lot of different QSOs in 1 hour and a half show, so there are a lot of possibilities for other folks to listen and consider their situation versus the current audio. And plus the fact that we are running the spectrum analyzer, so they can see in real time what the sound looks like on the meter, and know that there's 3 marks on my spectrum analyzer. I have 3 white marks on the spectrum analyzer. The one furthest to the left is 100 cycles. So, furthest to the left is a white mark, and that's 100 cycles. Then, as you go to the right, there are 2 marks. The first mark is at 1 KC, and then there's a dark spot where there is no mark, and that's 2 KC, and the second white mark on the right is 3 KC, which is our bandpass there. So you can see exactly where your audio is running, your audio curve. Anyway, this is KC9VKV. We are listening for anyone who maybe wants to check out their radio. KC9VKV listening.